Welcome to part 3 of the Batcave Begins. Let us offer up the Dark Knight Returns wave to the toy gods and build a horse! Kicking us off at number 5 is Superman. I'm not a big Superman fan outside of the first 2 Christopher Reeve movies, but I had to have this one because of my love for the comic and movie. To me, this is the perfect singular Superman to have in a collection because he is such a D-bag in this arc. And the face sculpt is such an accurate representation of what you see in the animated film. He kind of has a Ronald Reagan-esque quality to him, which really makes you want to punch him in the face even more. I love the way they did his hair. You have the curl coming up right in front of his eyes, and it looks great sculpted on the sides as well. Dude, I just can't get over how they nailed the face sculpt and expression. This Superman is just a classic look, bright, bold primary colors. One of the things I really like about it is the movement implied in the cape, which doesn't weigh the figure down or imbalance it and does not hinder movement. And when you look at it from the back, it's really cool implied motion waving to the side. Though things have escalated quickly over the last few weeks with my McFarlane collection, I'm still really new to it. One of the common points of feedback I hear is that sometimes McFarlane figures can be statue-esque, and I do see that with this Batman figure. You have a single pin elbow joint that barely hits 90 degrees. You do get really good shoulder rotation, and one of the things that I do like here is that hidden butterfly shoulder joint. That's a really neat touch, and it doesn't take away from the aesthetic of the figure like many of the Hasbro ones do. However, the biceps do not have a bicep swivel. And only being single pinned here, I kind of understand because of the size of Superman's biceps, but it does make it a little more statuesque. He does get really nice 360 degree movement at the torso though. That'll make good punching or flying poses for him. Now on the bottom, his legs do kick out wide, and you have a double pin knee joint, as well as the toe rocker, and really good ankle movement. So he's gonna be nice to pose, but is a little more statuesque than some of the other figures that I've come across. But one of the things I like is I moved him, and he immediately stood up, as you guys saw there. Gets into a running pose with ease. Came out well. He's taking off, going into flight. First stand, we have Superman in flight. I wanted to recapture an image from the Dark Knight Returns comic with him holding a vehicle over his head because the biceps don't swivel and I can only get them to come straight up like this. It kind of looks like he's in a taking off mode, which is a trade-off. I feel like you get a better face sculpt. I got this on sale for $19. That is something I would like to see is the rotatable bicep. Still looks cool holding up hazmat suit Batman ready to throw him across the room. Please subscribe for a future Batcave Begins video where I offer armored Batman up to the toy gods and take photos with him beating the crap out of this Superman. Number 4 is Robin. It's probably my least favorite version of Robin, but the figure does exceed expectations and is by far the most articulatable of the whole wave. They really got the look of the face sculpt down. The glasses are neat. You can see the eyes right through the lightly green tinted lenses. The hair sculpt is so well done, man. Look at that coif. I always thought it looked weird in the animated movie, but on the sculpt, I think they nailed it, man. And oh, dude, check out the glasses have a see-through window on the sides as well. It's pretty cool looking, man. Even the Robin outfit in the bold primary colors looks great, and I love the implied movement of this cape. Now, she is a shorter figure in stature, so this cape can be used as a fulcrum for balance. This is a soft rubber, which does not hinder movement, and I really do appreciate that touch. Shoulder goes all the way back, double pin elbow joint bends all the way back. You have double pin knee joints as well. She has Peter Pan shoes with the toe rock, and the ankle does swivel side to side, and look at that movement, man. Makes her extremely posable, and then she'll be able to do the splits as well. I know some people aren't crazy about the ball joint on the wrist, and I agree, aesthetically it does look odd. However, it gives you such great range of motion, so I think it's a trade-off. You know, there's a lot of Hasbro figures where the wrist doesn't move at all, so what do you want? Do you want the greater range of motion with the ball joint, or do you want less motion at the wrist for less posability? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. It's just a trade-off. Robin is so well balanced. When you use her with the stand, you can really get her into some cool poses, man. I always love it when a figure exceeds expectations. She also comes with her slingshot from the comic and movie. I think they look really cool together. Let's try to recreate a couple pictures of her from the comic. Things that I really appreciate about McFarlane is that the accessories are designed to match with the hands as well as the way a figure articulates. She's able to hold the slingshot in the right hand and then pull it back with the left finger, and it looks really cool pose like that. Cool that there's no stand needed to pose her in a lunging form. Poses so well, man. Look at the bend in the knees. I have both her arms out, and it took me 2 seconds to get her like this. Using the Hasbro stand to recreate one of the panels from the comic. Looks great, leaping over bullets. 3 is the Joker, dude. This figure is amazing. Top to bottom, aesthetically, I'm terrified of it. Joker has a maniacal laugh, man. Oh my god, dude, look at that. Man, I can't get over his eyes and just the big smile on his face while he's laughing. Has a two-tone wash going through his hair. It's also well coiffed. But what really makes this figure stand out after the face sculpt is he is draped in sartorial splendor. His sport coat is a stark white and has exquisite stitching detail all the way through it. His purple shirt pops, and I really appreciate the tie in motion. And then his pants are a bone white in contrast to the stark white sport coat. And I love the way that the purple ties in with his shirt, the cuffs, and then it's complemented by these purple high heels. When you pull him back and just take a look at him all together, he is a insanely gorgeous figure to look at. However, he is a little bit more statuesque. Thing to note about this figure is it articulates well, but it is somewhat statuesque. His shoulders do kick out all the way. A double pin elbow that comes back way further than 90 degrees. It is stiff in the torso, although you do get some rock and twist with it. They did a nice job making this part of his sport coat soft goods. And I really want to credit McFarlane for doing that, because I feel if this was a Hasbro figure, this would have been really stiff, and you wouldn't get this level of movement with the figure. Legs do kick out, and he comes with a single pin knee joint, which comes all the way back, and the high heels do get decent rock back and forth side to side with the totes into a walking pose with ease. To recreate this panel from the comics, for a dude wearing high heels, he poses and stands extremely well, man. I definitely don't want this dude pointing a knife at me. How about you? Oh, how I got these scars? The runner-up from the Dark Knight Returns wave is the Dark Knight himself, Batman. Check out the stockiness and girth of his body, man. Really captured the animated style of this character. He's got that angry Batman grimace on his face. The cowl is really neat because the ears are small and it looks like his head is like compact and squished. Really like the way the cape sits off his neck. And the bat symbol is raised, not just painted on. And I really love the way that the broad bat symbol looks across his chest, and the fact that it's not well defined like other bat symbols are. It's a little bit more vague. The two-tone gray and black work really well together, which makes the brown utility belt stand out even more. Cape is finely sculpted in back. Once again, it's a softer rubber, so it will not hinder movement or posing. Batman will pose very similar to Superman, hidden butterfly shoulder joint, no swivel at the bicep, but you do get double pin at the knees and a real nice rocker at the boot with the toe crunch. Put him in a couple poses and recreate some of the images from the Dark Knight Returns comic. Let's start off with a brawler pose with Batman throwing a first punch right at your head. Might be getting a little stiff for his old age, but he gets into a nice pseudo superhero pose. Put Batman into a really good brawler pose. Let's recreate a couple panels from The Dark Knight Returns. Concepts from the comic and film is that the Joker is completely comatose. The Build-A-Horse comes split between 8 pieces, 2 front legs, 2 hind legs, 2 halves of a torso, a tail, and the horse's head. Tactical error. The saddle slides on before you staple everything together. We'll be right back. Didn't even have to manipulate it. My most recent Hasbro Build-A-Figure was Rintrah. He also has hooves, was super underwhelming. I mean, look at the size of it in comparison, and he does not stand well because of how they designed the hooves. This is awesome. Awesome, dude. I love building a horse. Really appreciate that I only needed 4 figures to build the horse instead of the 7 it requires for Hasbro for a Build-A-Figure. This horse is massive in scale. Still can't get over this Build-A-Horse. Head articulates up and down and side to side at the neck. The neck also rotates up and down as well. You do have movement on the legs as well as the hooves, and then the hind legs have even more movement. Wow, look at all that. And then the hooves move as well, and the tail rotates at 360 degrees, which makes this brown saddle even cooler. And oh my god, dude, check out the bat symbol. Really digging all the stitching and different detail that they put into it. It definitely isn't just a paint job and a throwaway, but that bat symbol is awesome. The fine detail continues all the way around the saddle onto the stirrups. The reins look awesome, man. You can see the leather detail in them, and then I like the way that the silver stands out as well. Well, the most important part of this is Batman riding his horse, which is a super iconic moment in all of the Batman lore. Straight out of the get-go, he fits on there well, and you could tell that he's made to fit on the saddle. The horse stands well, it didn't fall over at all. This is epic! I got both his feet to fit in the stirrups, his hand hold the reins perfectly, and he sits on the horse with ease. Oh my god, dude. I think this is going to be the centerpiece of the Batcave. Let me know how you guys would pose this or where you'd put this in your Batman display. I can't think of any better way to close out this review with the iconic shot from the comic book of Batman rearing his horse up on 2 legs. If you're a fan of the Dark Knight Returns comic or film, this is a must-own wave. I acknowledge the posability is not at the same level as the 3 Jokers wave. However, the sculpt work and value of obtaining each figure on sale and only needing 4 figures to build a horse is unrivaled. Batman on the horse with the iconic pose from the comics will most definitely be a centerpiece for the Batcave display build. Please honor the toy gods by subscribing to the Nerdery and to be notified of all upcoming Batcave Begins episodes. We will make many more glorious offerings to the toy gods.